I was going to start with a welcome home. You know, and it makes you think, do any of us really feel at home anymore? Because we see the direction our countries are going at a rapid pace. I think some of us hoped that the events in the last few years were maybe a one-off. A lot of people had been saying, like, trust the plan, right? And I said, there's no plan. The plan has to be something that we're creating together. We were given hints and clues about what the plan could be, but I think we ignored many chances and opportunities to see a real shift, a real change for our benefit as citizens in any of our countries. And when I'm speaking, I'm mostly speaking about North America and Europe. I think Brazil is the same way. You know, they just had an election stolen from them as well. So, welcome home. What is home? What is our home country now? In our country of Canada, Trudeau, he said Canada is a post-national state. He didn't ask any of us if that's what we wanted. He just went ahead and said, we're not a nation anymore. And they pushed this. Well, I guess they haven't really pushed it. They've spoken about it a few times, but I think it will be a push where it's this global citizen, a global citizenship. We see the WHO, right? They're going to be given control over our health, whether we like it or not. I mean, good grief. Very soon I'm not even going to be able to get vitamins at the store. And all of this control is being given over to United Nations, the World Health Organization, World Economic Forum. We know this, okay? That's a given at this point. Without our say, without even any pushback from any of us. And there's going to be, the elections are a farce. And I don't even know if we're going to see any real elections anymore. They might put on, what seems to be an election, but no. This is about the end of it. Even some people that agree with me on most points, right? There's many of us on the right that mostly agree. We differ on some points. And some will still disagree that we're in these end days. Like I said, they trust the plan. They think things just around the corner are going to be better. But no one knows how. Oh, well, maybe with an election. No, there aren't going to be elections. They're going to appoint regional leaders, even people like Bill Gates. Oh, he might have a certain region within the world that he's the leader of. And Jeff Bezos, he might have a region of the world that he's a leader of. It'll be appointed. And as I spoke about the previous video, the globalist army will enforce whatever laws and rules that they're putting in place. Cash will be gone, and a Chinese credit system, social credit score. They're already locking our bank accounts down. So have you planned for your survival? Not that I was ever a prepper. I never even paid attention to politics before. But how can you not pay attention to what's going on? How are you going to survive this? On your own? I think it's going to be harder to survive on our own. I think we're stronger if we make community groups, can watch out for each other, surround each other. Yeah, basically back to the Wild West days. I have my CB radio. I can call out for help on behalf of whoever's around me. And I'm getting another one. They're picking us off one by one. Any political dissident. I'm a Gen Xer. So I remember things very different. I remember even being, as a kid, just feeling like I lived in the greatest country, the most freest country in the world. Because at a young age, because I was a Christian, we were learning already, I was learning about people in other countries, especially China, those citizens being persecuted because they decided to be a Christian. You know, and I knew it was coming then. I didn't know when. I had to make a choice then. Am I willing to make this decision knowing that I will be persecuted for believing in Jesus Christ as Messiah and following Jesus Christ, being a Christ follower and the Bible? I knew that I'd face persecution in that sense. What I never thought that in the political sense, you know, disagreeing with our government and things going on, that I would be persecuted for those reasons, but I guess they're intertwined now, right? There are a lot of Christians on the left, which shocks me, but we were warned about this too, that just because someone says they're Christian or they believe in Bible stuff doesn't mean that they actually really do, that they actually do see the light, that they do understand. So many people will be blind, many people will be false, many people will be liars and just say and do things just because they don't really know Jesus, they don't really believe. I went to public school for a little while, and my parents sent me to a small private school. So in my elementary years, even in the public school, we were saying prayer, and we were taught the golden rule. This was ingrained in me at a young age. I don't think anyone is taught this anymore. I don't even think most good people are taught this anymore. The art of being unselfish. Everybody's out for themselves. And it's always been bad, but I think it just gets worse and worse and worse. Golden rule, I don't even think people know what that is. And it comes from a verse in the Bible. Do unto others as you would have done to you. People think of themselves first. I guess I really just want to warn people that the world is going to get worse and worse at a faster and faster rate. There's no outside plan out there somewhere to rescue us. We got to rescue each other. We got to help each other. But because no one knows that golden rule, and no one lives by the golden rule, it's every man for himself. which is a shame. We have so much power. We have so much possibilities. We would get so much help from God if we started to help each other a lot more. So not only are young people just raised with different worldview, different values, wandering lost. It would just be nice if they would be able to see how the lakes and rivers used to look like, the beauty and the nature, the way things used to look from years and years ago, how blue the sky was. Has anyone else noticed that everything is fading quickly? And they are trying so hard to have so much control over us, our everyday lives. We're going to get climate lockdowns. They're going to prevent us from having the freedom of being able to have a vehicle to drive. Even if we all could afford electric vehicles, even if there was a grid system that we could plug into, it's still impossible to change over to that system. I found this one fact. The U.S. Army goes through 1 billion gallons of fuel per year. So just the U.S. Army, just that aspect, how are they going to convert that to all electric? They try and make it sound like it's a small, easy task to switch over to electric. It's not. You really think Vanguard and BlackRock are going to give up oil? They control everything else. So it's not that they want this climate change, get rid of gas and oil industry. They're just wanting to have more control of it, where are more helpless and reliant on them for everything. Or oil and gas companies are sold to countries like China, Turkey, and Iran. With even just in North America, most of the oil and gas trading just occurs in North America. They make you think that we're trading lots with Saudi Arabia and Russia and everything. It all comes down to like literally the government of China controlling our oil, and few people that own and operate Vanguard and BlackRock. So this is where we are. In the US, we have political dissidents locked in jail. Not even a trial. Nothing fair. In Canada, that's happening. Most of the citizens are completely unaware of what's going on or how communist things are going and how quickly they're becoming. Or they think that they're immune from any sort of persecution because they believe the correct political views, and they have the correct political views, and they obey the government in every sense. They have no understanding of what's coming. No one is safe from it because there's just this little tiny group up here. That's it. Everyone else will be targeted. Left, right, center, whoever you are. Don't think you're safe from this. You're not safe from this. You can run, you can hide. Well, okay, maybe you could hide somewhere, but you could,
Leaders of countries that have privately signed on to the global initiative have no problem.
How many can dig our heels in and be brave, be strong and courageous, be strong and courageous, be strong and courageous?
Have no problem with calling in troops.
I don't think there's many of us out there.
From other countries, disguised as policemen.
It's really, really sad what's happening.
To put down any rebellion.
Please make the right choices.
any pushback against
Please take a stand.
the initiatives that are trying to be pushed in their countries.
Because it's going to get harder. If you thought masks and vaccines were hard,
Do not think for 1 minute
just wait.
that you are safe.
It's coming.
Do not think for 1 minute that these people care one whit about bashing in your head. They don't. It matters to them not one little bit. That's why they are called in. Because the leader of said countries know that their own soldiers, their own real policemen of the country, will not do that to their people. This all sounds like a terrible, terrible conspiracy theory. But let me tell you, people, this is happening all over the world. And more thousands upon thousands of people are seeing it happen for real. Prepare yourselves. Prepare yourselves for survival against your own leaders. Because if you don't, you will end up on your knees. You will be wondering how you allowed this to happen, and you have to say you allowed it. Every person who does nothing to stand in the way of it is allowing it to happen. Complacency will get you nowhere but in bondage and on your knees. Just a thought. Just keep that in the back of your head and think about it a while.